ओमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So we are discussing a very nice section, that how Mother Ganga, she descended to this material world. So we understood that how Vamandev, he creates that hole in the entire universe, in that place, particular place. And the transcendental waters, they flow down. And first they fall on Dhruvaloka. And just below Dhruvaloka, the description says that there are planets of Sapta Rishis. So Sapta Rishis are Kashyapa Muni. So Kashyapa Muni, as all of us know, he is the father of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, Garuda and Vamandev. So these are the different personalities. So can you imagine Kashyapa Muni, such a great personality. He's a very, very celebrated personality in the Vedic scriptures, Kashyapa. Next is Atri. Who is Atri? Atri Muni is the husband of Anusuya, and Atri and Anusuya, they made the Lord appear in a very wonderful form called Dattatreya. So this is Atri and Anusuya. So Dattatreya is a combined incarnation of Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. Next we have Vasishtha. So Vasishtha, I think all of us know. Who is Vasishtha? Okay, Vasishtha is Lord Ram's spiritual master. But then more than that, we talk about him as a priest of Dasharath Maharaj. Yes, Brahmarshi Vasishtha. And he is there both in Ramayana and also in Mahabharata. Vasishtha appears. Then we have Vishwamitra. He is the next one. Vishwamitra is considered to be the guru of Ram and Lakshman. And he was the one who arranged the marriage of Lord Ram with Sita Devi. So in this way, Vishwamitra's name comes as one of the Sapta Rishi. Gautama is another one. What's the speciality of Gautama Muni? Husband of Ahalya. So he was the one who cursed. He was the one who cursed Ahalya. And Lord Ram, by the touch of the feet of Lord Ram, she came back to life. And Gautama Muni, he is the one who is the grandfather of the twins in Mahabharata, Kripacharya and Kripi. He is the grandfather. So you see how great this personality is, Gautama. Next we have Jamadagni. Who is Jamadagni? Father of Parshuram. So now he is a father of incarnation of the Lord. So I don't think I need to explain much about his greatness. And then Bharadwaj Muni. What speciality of Bharadwaj Muni? Have you heard about Bharadwaj Muni? Okay, father of Dronacharya. Very important point. Father of Dronacharya. And when Lord Ram was exiled, so at that time Lord Ram meets Bharadwaj Muni. And Bharadwaj Muni, he makes a wonderful arrangement for everything. So in this way, these are the 7 Rishis, Sapta Rishi. So this is Dhruvaloka, and Mother Ganga, she flows like this, and she's coming down. And here is Sapta Rishi constellation, the 7 stars on which the Sapta Rishi reside, and they are obviously always together. And also this, there is a nice quote by Srila Prabhupada in purport to 9th canto, one of the verses. So there he says that these Sapta Rishi or Sapta Rishi planets, they revolve around they revolve around this planet. That is Dhruvaloka. So in 24 hours, they revolve, it seems, once. So they are very fast. They go around this planet. So this is Sapta Rishi. So I hope this is clear. Because when I was seeing this diagram, I was wondering that ये तो दूर है, Ganga तो कहीं और से जा रही है. See? Oh, sorry. So Ganga is going like this, and Sapta Rishis are here. So when they're going around like this, beach mein milta rahega. So Prabhupada says in one of the purport to 9th canto, these 7 stars are seen every night, and they each make complete orbit around the pole star within 24 hours. They're called a Sapta Rishi Mandala. Now see, these Sapta Rishis, they're not ordinary people. They're very great. Therefore, I described about each one of them. And this particular verse that we're discussing, it is said, well aware of the influence of the water of the Ganges, to this day they keep Ganges water on the tufts of hair on their heads. They have concluded that this is the ultimate wealth, the perfection of all austerities, and best means of prosecuting transcendental life. Having obtained uninterrupted devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they neglect all other beneficial processes like religion, economic development, sense gratification, and even merging into Supreme. That is Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Just as Jnanis think that merging into existence of the Lord is highest truth, these 7 exalted personalities accept devotional service as perfection of life. See, when it comes to aspiration of devotees, we need to understand what are they aspiring for. What is the only aspiration of devotees? Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad in Chaitanya Chandramrita, he quotes this very wonderful shloka which Prabhupada quotes often. Kaivalyam narakayate. He says Kaivalyam narakayate. Kaivalyam means merging into Brahman. So Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha are Chatur Purusharthas. Pancham Purushartha is Krishna Prem. So what people know about is Chatur Purushartha. Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. Dharma, Artha, Kama is something which karmis do, and Moksha is something which Jnanis aspire for. But here it is described that when it comes to devotees, they say Kaivalyam, merging in Brahman, is Naraka, Narakayate. Why? Because when it comes to devotees, they don't want to lose their identity. Because losing the identity, it means losing the opportunity to serve. Because for devotees, they understand it very clearly that I am servant of the Lord and I cannot remain without service. Because servant means to serve. And if service is only not there, where is the question of existence of the servant? Therefore, they feel if my existence is not there, it's almost like hellish. It will be a suffering. Therefore, for devotees, it's Naraka. They only aspire for one thing, that I want to serve. Even merging in Brahman is a very selfish desire, you see. Why it is selfish desire? Because the jnanis who are there, or the aspirants to merge in Brahman, they are the ones who feel there's so much of trouble in this material world. Better get rid of it. I want to be happy. Ananda is something which I want. So just let me merge in Brahman, and then only Ananda and nothing else. There'll be no question of material miseries. And I always imagine this, the entire Brahman, where all spirit souls are there, and everyone is just smiling. Can you imagine? All the time for eternity, everyone is just smiling. Like in the photo. Everyone is just smiling. So this is also a selfish desire that I want to merge in Brahman so that I can get rid of all the material miseries. Then he says, Tridasha Pura Akasha Pushpayate. Now no one aspires to go to heaven because people don't believe there is a heaven. But in the Vedic times, literally, all the dharmic people, they would work hard to make their way to heavenly planet. Because they knew very well that actual enjoyment is there in heaven. There is no enjoyment here in this material world. They will do a lot of yagyas, a lot of tapasyas just to go there to the heavenly planet and enjoy. Because they know very well that there is no question of birth, death, old age, disease in the heavenly planet. You just appear and you enjoy to your fullest till your punya is there, And there's no death. You just disappear from that place. So in this way, they feel, oh, that's a very nice place we want to go. But for devotees, they feel, what's the point of going there? In the entire sense gratification that I'll be doing in the heavenly planet, I'll not be able to remember the Lord. And what sort of enjoyment is that which is temporary? It's flickering. Because when someone is engaged too much into sense gratification, the time goes very fast. Very, very fast. Like example that is given in Srimad Bhagavatam is Devahuti and Kardamamani. For many, many, many years, they were enjoying nicely on that transcendental or mystical airplane. And after enjoying for many, many, many thousands of years, then finally, when they landed back on this planet, then both of them, they felt it was just a fraction of a second. That was the enjoyment. And there's a complete opposite when it comes to service to the Lord. When the service is missing, devotees feel that fraction of a second to be yuga. Yugaitam nimeshena. You see, there's a complete contrast between the sense gratifiers and the transcendentalist devotees. So for devotees, they feel, what's the point of going there? What will we do there going? Sense gratification. But I'm a servant of the Lord. How can I do sense gratification? You know who does sense gratification or who aspires to sense gratification? Who forgets that he's a servant of the Lord. So whenever we get into sense gratification, we have to understand that we are into ignorance in that particular point of time and we have forgotten our real identity of being the servant. Only time when we remember that we are servant of the Lord is, that's it, Bhagavatam class. Immediately after Bhagavatam class is Prasad. And immediately we forget we are servant of the Lord and immediately you come in the enjoying mode, the enjoying tendency, you see. Therefore, one thing is there, that to understand that we are servant of the Lord and to be situated in that position is a very, very important thing. And devotees, they are the ones who are always in the mood that yes, I'm Das, I'm servant of the Lord. And what will I going there? And it is so flickering. It's actually illusory. They consider it to be illusory. It's real. Heavenly planets are there. But they consider it to be illusory because they feel, what's the point? It's temporary. What's the point? There is no service of the Lord. I'll not be able to serve the Lord properly there. Tridasha pura akasha pushpayate. Durdantendriya sarpakala patale prokhat damstrayate. The yogis, they are busy controlling their senses. Because when they control the senses, then only they'll be able to get the higher things in their system of yoga. But when it comes to devotees don't bother about controlling the senses because controlling of the senses is just a mere byproduct of engaging the senses in service of the controller of the senses, that is Rishikesha. Therefore, in the verse Vacho Vegam Manasa Krodha Vegam, how to control the urge? It's not described that one should do something mechanically. No. How to control the urge to speak? Vacho Vegam, speak about the Lord. Manasa Vegam, engage your mind in service of the Lord. Then Jivha Vegam, have Krishna Prasad chant the holy names. Krodha, yes, Krodha Bhakta Dveshi Jane. So become angry on those who are blasphemers of the Lord and the devotees. And then also other different parts of the body and different urges are given. And it's very clear that devotees don't try to control, but devotees try to engage. Sometimes devotees ask how to control the mind while chanting. You don't control the mind. You cannot control. How can we control Krishna's energy? Bhumi apo anala vayu kham manaha buddhir evacha ahankaram ityam me binna prakriti rashtadam. So Krishna is saying these are my 8 separated energies. And we chutku living entities, we want to control Krishna's energy, that is mind. Just think about it. We cannot control mind. We cannot. The way we are engaging the Pancha Mahabhutas in service of the Lord, similarly we need to engage the mind, intelligence and ego in service of the Lord. When we engage the mind in service of the Lord, naturally the mind will be controlled. And who will be controlling it? Not we. Rishikesha will be controlling it because he is the controller of the senses and mind is the king of the senses. Therefore, devotees don't bother to control. I'm talking about devotees, we are still practicing. I'm talking about the ones who are already devotees, and about them we are discussing. Therefore, devotees are always peaceful. Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ateva Shanta Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakali Ashanta. So Bhukti, karmis are aspiring for sense gratification. Mukti, jnanis are aspiring for merging in Brahman. Siddhi, yogis are aspiring to attain some mystic potencies. So all of them, since they have some selfish desire, all of them they are ashanta. But Krishna Bhakta Nishkama, he does not have any desire for his own. Nishkama means there is no desire for his own, no selfish desire. Therefore, he is Shanta. But what is his only desire? I want to serve the Lord. This is the only desire. I don't know when this will come in our existence, that I want to serve the Lord only. Just think about it. Even as renunciants or aspiring renunciants, for us also, isn't it that at times we forget that we are servant of the Lord? Or I should say, at times we remember that we are servant of the Lord. Yes. Most of the time we forget. Only if we come to this understanding that I'm servant of the Lord, and if that mood of being the servant remains intact, we are already liberated. Muktir hitva anyatha rupam swarupena vyavasthitihi. So this is our swarupa of being servant of the Lord. Sometimes it's very funny, when devotees talk about higher rasas of madhurya and this and that. It's very, very funny. We have not reached even the basic of being the servant of the Lord, and we're talking about high fundas. What's the point? What's the point? Therefore, when it comes to devotees, they just have one desire, that I want to serve the Lord. That is the goal of their life, now and later and for eternity. Therefore, their sadhana is service, their sadhya is also service. There's no difference between their sadhana and sadhya. Their sadhana, the process that they're following, is service. They're serving the Lord. And sadhya, the goal of their life is to serve. Therefore, when Srila Prabhupada was asked by a reporter, Swamiji, what's the goal of chanting? And Swamiji said, more chanting. So that's the sadhana and sadhya for us. So it's not that now I'll do sadhana and I'll go to Goloka Vrindavan, I'll enjoy there. Never we're going to Golok then. Never. Therefore, the clear understanding is very, very important. So when the understanding is clear, when Siddhanta is clear, then it becomes easy for us to advance in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, it is said, Siddhanta balya chitte na karalas, iya aite Krishna lage sudruda manas. Which devotee can fix his mind on the lotus feet of Krishna? The devotee whose Siddhanta is clear, whose understanding is clear about Krishna consciousness. And look at the understanding of the Sapta Rishis that is given here. They understand it very clearly that devotional service is ultimate wealth. They don't have any other wealth apart from devotional service. Devotional service is the ultimate wealth. And our acharyas like Narottam Das Thakur, they sing, Golokera Premadhana Harinama Sankirtana. So this is the wealth which our Narottam Das Thakur is saying. What is the wealth of a devotee? Harinam Sankirtan, the holy names of the Lord. Devotional service. That's the ultimate wealth that the devotees have. Ultimate wealth. Second thing, they consider devotional service to be the perfection of all austerities. So devotees consider this to be perfection of all austerities. If they are engaged in devotional service, they understand, yes, this is the perfection of all austerities. When Devahuti and Kapila Muni, there is a samvad. So at that time the shloka comes. Aho batashvo pachato gariya yajjivagre vartate namatubhyam te pustapaste juhuvuhu shashnurarya brahmanuchor nama grananti ete. Very beautiful shloka. So here it is, Aho batashva pachato gariya. Even the dog eaters are very great. Which dog eaters are great? Yajjivagre vartate namatubhyam. Those dog eaters, at the tip of the tongue, if the holy name is there, then yes, they are very great. Basically, it means if they're chanting the holy names, they are considered to be great. And then it is very nicely described that such people are considered to have performed first tapaha, all austerities. Second, juhuvuhu, all sacrifices that is given in the Vedic scriptures. Next, shashnuhu, they have bathed in all the holy places already. And Arya, they are the ones who belong to the civilized class. And Brahma Anuchuhu, they have studied all the scriptures. Now, anyone who chants the holy name of the Lord are considered to have done all this before. That's the glory of chanting the holy names, of rendering devotional service in general. So therefore, here, the Sapta Rishis, they're saying, or they're considering, the perfection of all austerities is what? Engaging in devotional service. And then the best means of prosecuting transcendental life. So what is the best means of prosecuting transcendental life? What is the best thing to do? If I call myself as a transcendentalist, engage in devotional service. Therefore it is described, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Namaiva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyatha. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way in the age of Kali to attain perfection except one. That is chanting of the holy names, chanting of the holy names, chanting of the holy names of the Lord. So whenever we say chanting of the holy names, we are talking about devotional service. Taram Madhya Sarva Shrestha Nama Sankirtan. In the entire angas of devotional service that we discuss, the topmost anga is chanting of the holy names. Many times you'll find statements like Shravan Adi, Shravan Kirtan Adi. So we're talking about these different angas of devotional service. So therefore, understanding has to be clear. With understanding, the priority becomes clear. When the understanding is not clear, we cannot prioritize devotional service at the top, even for brahmacharis. It's not that I've given up material life, so I've come here and I'm in the ashram. So anyways, I think I'll be following all this. No. If the understanding is not clear, there is no question of keeping Krishna consciousness as the first priority. If that is the case, then why is it? I was just hearing one senior sannyasi speaking. He was asking this question. If Sankirtan is the topmost anga of bhakti, then why is it that Sankirtan devotees, so many Sankirtan devotees fell from the path? Why? So he's making a very nice statement. He said, because they were not doing Sankirtan for the pleasure of the Lord, they were doing something for themselves. Or, okay, I'll do very nice book distribution and my score will be announced and then everyone will get to know how great devotee I am. I am the empowered soul. Maybe the next Senapati Bhakta. Let everyone know this. I'll prove my talents and skills. If all these things are there, then gone. On the gross platform, sense gratification. On subtle platform, pujala pratishtha. So what will happen? Because we are not actually doing Sankirtan for the pleasure of the Lord. We are doing Sankirtan for our own pleasure. Therefore, that senior sannyasi was sharing that what will happen? The person will fall from the path of Krishna consciousness. So it's not the problem with Sankirtan. We cannot say that I went to Sankirtan and I fell. No, it's not the problem of Sankirtan. It's the problem of the devotee with what mood is he doing Sankirtan. The mood is very, very important. Therefore, when the understanding is not clear, when the priority is not set properly, all these anarthas will creep in and naturally a devotee will fizzle out from devotional service. Therefore, every devotee, especially when we are in the Bhagavatam class, we try our best to clear our Siddhanta. What is the prayojan that I have in my life? What is that goal that I have in my life? See, the Sapta Rishis are very clear. They're saying devotional service is the ultimate wealth, perfection of all austerities, and third, the best means of prosecuting transcendental life. They're very clear. They're very clear about this. Even we have to be very clear about this. There is nothing beyond devotional service. This is the conviction that a devotee should have, and especially the renunciant should have this conviction that there is nothing beyond devotional service. And what is devotional service? The activities which gives pleasure to Guru and Krishna. So more we do those activities which gives pleasure to Guru and Krishna, more mercy flows, more understanding becomes clear. Because as of now it's information that we have. You ask anyone in iskcon that what are we supposed to do? And they'll say we have to work for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. This line will be there in those temples where proper Bhagavatam classes happen. They'll be very clear about this. That yes, I have to work for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. So information is there. And when the person starts acting, when he starts doing those activities which gives pleasure to Guru and Krishna, with time when the mercy flows, the understanding becomes more and more clear. The Sambandha Gyan becomes more and more clear. The goal becomes more and more clear. That is, Prayojan becomes more and more clear. And finally, when we receive mercy and we attain the highest perfection, the ultimate Sambandha becomes very clear. Our relationship with Krishna. The specific relationship that I'm talking about. Technically, it is called as Swarup Siddhi. Therefore, if the understanding is not clear about the goal, then it is seen that how devotees drift from the path of Krishna consciousness. And the understanding becomes clear when Yat Karunya Kataksha Vaibhavatam Tam Gauram Evastumah. This is what Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad is saying. When someone receives Karunya Kataksha, the merciful glance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that person is the one who will be able to say Kaivalyam Narakayate, Tridashapura Akasha Pushpayate, Durdantendriya Sarpakala Patali Prokhatadam Strayate. They will be able to say this. Because for them, since they have received the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, basically you are talking about the mercy of Guru and Krishna, they are the ones who will feel all this to be insignificant. All this to be insignificant. Therefore, when there was a discussion that was taking place in the assembly of Govardhan Majumdar, Hiranya Majumdar, and Haridas Thakur was invited to that assembly. And Haridas Thakur said that the byproduct of chanting, that to not Shuddhanam, Namabhas, is moksha. And there was a person who was not able to take this. He said, how do you say this? Because for him, moksha is something very, very high. And Haridas Thakur said, mere byproduct of chanting is moksha. And he was not able to take it. He was feeling so uncomfortable and he spoke very heavy words, blaspheming Haridas Thakur. He said that whatever you're speaking is nonsense. Your nose should melt or something like that. Basically like a curse. And Govardhan, Hiranya, they were very, very embarrassed. Because they knew the level of Haridas Thakur and this neophyte, they threw him away, threw him out of assembly. He's the same personality where his nose melted because of some disease, leprosy. You see. So, people who are aspiring for bhukti, mukti and siddhi, when they hear that mere byproduct of devotional service is this, for them it becomes very difficult to digest. But for devotees, it's very clear that there's nothing beyond a devotional service. This is the point that I'm trying to highlight again and again in this class. There's nothing beyond a devotional service. So how to get that attachment, the way these Sapta Rishis have, the way all these great devotees have attachment to the Lord, how to develop that? And I've covered that very clearly. First is understanding should be clear and one should act with that understanding. And when we act with that understanding, no problem, even if it is theoretical. Say I'm doing some activity and I'm getting a lot of pleasure and I'm thinking also I'll get a lot of pleasure. But since I have some information from Shastra, no, I'm supposed to work for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. And I remind myself, no, this is not correct. You cannot enjoy in this situation. You should be working for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. But still you're enjoying. And in that you're still reminding yourself and telling sorry to the Lord. That makes a difference, you see. That information with time will get transformed into understanding. Conviction becomes strong. And anytime sense gratification thought comes, you're like, no, I don't want to do. You see? This is not possible for ordinary living entity, ordinary human being. Only that devotee who has received mercy will be able to say, no, I don't want to do sense gratification. My job as a devotee is to serve the Lord for Lord's pleasure. So understanding becomes clear when we do those activities which gives pleasure to Guru and Krishna. So currently, this season of book distribution, when we're distributing books, this is the understanding that we have, or we should have, that this gives pleasure to Srila Prabhupada. So let me do it. If someone asks you, why are you doing book distribution? So we don't have many answers. We have only one answer, because this gives pleasure to Srila Prabhupada. It's not that we are very eager to go and deliver people outside. Yes, I'll go and deliver the entire world, entire universe. No. We're going out, we're distributing books. And that, only one thing that we meditate on is this gives pleasure to Srila Prabhupada. What is the proof that this gives pleasure to Srila Prabhupada? Yes, Prabhupada himself said on many, many occasions. I was very astonished to read. Only 2 books were out at that time. Maybe 3, I can say. 2 books and magazine. That is Bhagavad-gita and TLC, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. And Back to God magazines. This was in the year 1969. And Srila Prabhupada, due to his bad health, he had to shift to India. And it is described that even at that time, Prabhupada was pressing all the devotees through his letters that, are you able to push the printing of these books? Are you all devising various means to distribute these books? And when the positive reports would come, Prabhupada was very, very happy. Very happy. Prabhupada was very tensed. Dai Nippon, a company from Japan, was supposed to print, that particular company took the contract of printing TLC, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. But they delayed the printing. And Prabhupada was really annoyed. And then Prabhupada started thinking we should have our own press, iskcon press. We should have our own system so that we can do the way we want. And when devotees, when they tried setting up the printing press and other things, Prabhupada was extremely pleased. And when devotees started going out to distribute books, and when Prabhupada would get the reports that so and so number of books are distributed, Prabhupada was extremely pleased. At that time, one devotee, he started distributing Back to God magazines using some mobile, mobile display. I was just imagining how it would be. Maybe a cart or a vehicle or something like that. It was not a bus party at that time. And Prabhupada was very pleased with it. That, so many books are getting, so many magazines are getting distributed. See. Therefore, our goal is to please the Acharya. Yesterday we were having a discussion about Kirtan standards. Very soon I'll give a seminar on Kirtan standards. So many devotees might say, but we are chanting holy names only, what's the problem? Why to follow such strict rules while doing Kirtan? Because we are not doing Kirtan for something else. We are doing Kirtan only for one thing, so that Prabhupada be pleased with our Kirtan. If Prabhupada is pleased with our Kirtan, rest everything will fall in place in our Krishna conscious life. Because he is the Acharya who has given us the best thing. This was my recent meditation. I think when we were in Sri Rangapatna, we were singing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra while taking darshan. So when Prabhupada Dhun was chanted, I was able to see that how people around, they were able to chant the holy names. Then I was talking to Harikshedra Prabhu. I said, Prabhupada's Dhun is so miraculous. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. See, this is the tune which people come and ask also at the book table sometimes. Wo wala recording hai kya? Then I was asking Harikshedra Prabhu that, how come this dhun is so miraculous? And Prabhuji made a nice thing, my nice statement. He said, because this dhun has come directly from Golok. And actually that's a fact. I was contemplating on this thing, that how this dhun is making so much of a difference. Because Prabhupada knows he's from that world and he has got things from that world. The only thing that we have to do is do what he wants, what he has instructed. Because from that world he has got various things and he is giving it to us here. The only thing that we have to do is meditate on what he has given, contemplate on what he has given, execute what he has asked us to do. Therefore, Kirtan standards, even the deity worship standards for that matter. So whatever Prabhupada has told, if we just follow that, a lot of things will fall in place and we devotees, sadhakas, will be able to advance in bhakti. Therefore, first is striving to have proper understanding of Sambandha, Abhidaya and Prayojan. Very important. We have to struggle. We have to strive to do that. Sometimes we might not be very keen to understand the philosophy, but we have to. With that understanding, we execute the various angas of bhakti. And then we offer prayers. Then the mercy flows. Then this understanding becomes more and more clear. And again, the mercy flows because we're doing it with proper understanding. And this goes on and on and on. And when this goes on and on and on, with time our attachment to the lordships will go on increasing. Attachment to name, form, qualities and pastimes of the Lord, or to be more precise, devotional service in general. Our attachment to devotional service, basically serving the lordships, will become very great. And then even we'll be able to resonate with what the Sapta Rishis are saying. The ultimate wealth is devotional service. The result of all austerities is devotional service. The best way to execute transcendental life is devotional service. We'll be able to come to that conclusion. Therefore, when we get that deep attachment to the service of the lordships, tell me, where is the question of attachment to the material world at that time? We'll also spit at the thought of sense gratification. And our lips will also curl with distaste, like Yamunacharya says. So in this way, this is the game of attachment and detachment in Krishna consciousness. So with proper understanding, executing devotional service, receive mercy, and in this entire cycle, if we keep on doing it, our attachment to the service of the lordships will go on increasing, because that is the gift that the Acharya will give us. That's the gift that the Parampara will give us. That's the gift which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will give us. And once we have good attachment to the service of the lordships, detachment is just a byproduct. Thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.